Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here with another scrapbook process video, and today I am playing along again with Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life and her 30 days of sketches. So this is day 22, and just like you saw at the beginning, I now have that sketch up in the right corner. I am just going through and showing you most of the pattern papers that I will be using for this layout. As you can see, I would say they primarily have what I would consider a fall theme. However, this picture, if you see it there, has really nothing to do with fall. It just so happened that these colors matched or kind of coordinated a bit with my photo. I don't really care if they match completely, but they worked with my photo, and so I just went with it, even though this is, like I said, not a fall themed or fall picture at all. So we're kind of going in the route of fall themed embellishments and colors that you would think of in fall for a non-fall layout. Now I am scrapping a picture of my son here, and he is taking a nap on our bed at our hotel in Animal Kingdom. And so I snapped this cute picture of him, and so that is what I'm scrapping today. And like I said, these colors worked perfectly with the photo, and so I just went with it. So you can see now I have my photo. It is all matted. I just did 3 simple layers behind my photo, and then I have these 2 pieces of pattern paper that you see here, and that is what's going to it's what I'm going to use. Whew, words are hard today. That's what I'm going to use to create those triangle elements that are in the sketch. And I'm going to layer up this orange polka dot on top of this green sort of grid type pattern paper. And so I'm going to cut these off camera. I'm sorry, I don't pull my trimmer across, but basically I am just lining it up in my trimmer and coming as close as I can to the little marks that I made to create those triangles. It's not perfect, but I didn't need it to be perfect. I'm just going to cut these 2 pattern papers, first this green one and then the orange, and I'm just going to cut obviously that orange just slightly smaller than that green so that I can layer them on top of each other. And once I have that for one side, I'm going to just do the exact same thing and cut 2 more triangles for the right side of the page. Now in the sketch, it looks like the points of those triangles are a bit closer together, like they're basically at the same spot where they meet, where if you drew a line, the 2 points would kind of meet up with each other. I do not do that. I end up having, like you see here, the left side, the point of that triangle is up higher, and then on the right side it is down lower. I just wanted that sort of bit of difference from the sketch, in that I especially was thinking at this point that I was probably going to do sort of a diagonal type of embellishing for this layout, and so having the point down there kind of leads you to that sort of diagonal direction. And so now I have my triangles all laid out. I'm just going to mark where they are going to land on my page, because of course I do have a piece of white cardstock, and it would be really hard for me if I were to just leave this piece of white cardstock plain and not do something with it. So while I'm thinking about what I want to do, I am going to just go ahead here and glue down my triangles on top of each other. Off camera, I do go ahead and stitch these triangles with just some white thread and just a simple straight stitch on my sewing machine, just again to add some interest and a bit of texture. But now that I have those glued together, I am going to just do just a simple bit of embellishing to this white cardstock. And by simple, I mean I am literally going to take my Campfire Distress oxide spray and use it exactly that way. I'm going to spray it there on the diagonal, and that is going to kind of just add a little bit of interest to this background. I did take my stain in the same color and just add some splatters, as well as I take this gold Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I'm just going to put some gold splatters in this because a lot of the embellishments that I'm going to use have sort of a metallic sheen to them, Some of them have a little bit of gold, so it works out perfectly. So there you see I have my background all complete. I've gone ahead and sewed down those triangles. I have my splatters and my ink, and then I am taking a stamp set from Citrus Twist, and I just picked a few stamps that kind of just went with sort of the theme of my page. One of them said Wild Thing, one of them said Heartbreaker, and one of them said Dream Chaser, I believe. You can't really see them, but again, I wasn't really going for you being totally able to read these. I just wanted to have the added interest of having some stamped words. That's why they're in the same color as the ink splatters. Just again, to add that level of interest, so it's not just a plain white cardstock background. And so there you see, I'm just going to finish up the little bit of stamping that I do, and I really like how that turned out. And of course, like I said, all those stamps, they kind of just went with my picture of my son who's sleeping. Obviously, Dream Chaser, Wild Thing, because he's a boy and full of energy. Heartbreaker, because, well, he is going to be a heartbreaker, I think, when he gets older. So this is basically how my background is going to go. And now you see, here is where I'm taking out all of the embellishing pieces that I pulled out for this layout. Now, like I said, this layout has nothing to do with fall or the theme of fall, but yet all of the embellishing bits and pieces that I pulled kind of have that fall theme to them. I have hearts and pumpkins and pine cones and things like that on this layout. I am absolutely okay with that. The colors, like I said, the colors worked, and all of these pieces actually were really, or not, they weren't super thick, but they were all chipboard, and I took like multiple layers of that chipboard off so that this layout wouldn't be super thick. As it is, it's still thick because I layer up a lot of those chipboard pieces, but ultimately I just go ahead and put these different pieces for embellishing on that diagonal for this layout, starting with that top left and working to the bottom right. It's a very simple design, which is great. I love this sketch. You can definitely take it in lots of directions. I'm going to finish off my embellishment clusters with just taking some of these puffy stickers that are some florals and some little woodland creatures, and like I said, random embellishments for this one, but the colors all worked, so I definitely thought I could get away with it. It definitely works for this page. And so I just dotted those florals and those little animals in amongst my clusters, and I absolutely love how it turned out, especially that little squirrel at the top. I didn't mention it, but the title for this one is just a quick refresher, because that is exactly what my son was doing. He was having a little nap before we went back to the parks on our Disney vacation. And so to finish off the layout, I do just punch out one of my little Mickey heads to place on this layout. I toyed around with this one, and then off camera I did go ahead and punch some smaller Mickey heads because I wanted just a bit of a smaller size to put down in this bottom cluster. But with that, I am going to call this one done. I will have the links for everyone playing along in the description box below. And here are the still photos. So with that, guys, I will catch you on the next one. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.